Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Thanks for watching today for Video Friday. And so today's 4th of July. So that always means that summer is gonna move fast. Seems like once July comes, the summer zooms by. But we still have time to stamp. So today I'm gonna make a card and I'm gonna be using Gallery Blooms as my focal point. I'm also gonna be using Floral Charm. Okay, that's the designer series paper. That's an online exclusive. That's amazing. And I love every sheet of it. So today I'm going to make a card and then I'm going to show you another card that I made very similar but using different paper. So let's get started and less chatting, more stamping. Okay, so put this camera down so we can see. Okay, so I did stamp a couple of these images in advance. So this is from Gallery Blooms. This is a 5 stamp photopolymer set, and I did stamp this in Memento because I'm going to use my blend markers. So if you were going to use a water medium, you need to use your Stays-On ink, which when I'm using a photopolymer stamp, I'm not crazy about using my Stays-On ink, but I'll do it. I know that I'm going to be using a water medium to color it in because I don't want it to bleed. But today I'm safe. I'm using Memento ink and my blend markers. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and start coloring this in. I'm going to be using a couple different colors. I'm using a Bubble Bath, and I am also going to be using a Berry Burst. So the first thing I'm going to do is color in using my light Bubble Bath. Okay, so I'm just going to color this in and not coloring the leaves, just coloring the flowers. So this stamp set is, it's different than a lot of the sets. The flowers are, actually the images are kind of thick, if that makes sense. Can you see how the images stamp pretty thick, which is different than a lot of our stamps, which I'm good with. It's just different. The first one I stamped it, I thought, did I do something wrong? Did I move at the last second? I don't need 2 of these, just need 1. Okay, so now I'm going to come back with my dark Bubble Bath, and I'm just going to do some shading, a little bit of shading here, going with the flow of the stamp set. Okay, so sometimes I will look at designer series paper to help me color in images, because then I can kind of get the feel for where the light and dark is supposed to be. That makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to let that do its thing, and I'm going to stamp, color the leaves in, and you're going to kind of crack up here. I'm going to be using a Night of Navy. And you're thinking, oh, that's different for leaves, but you'll see why here in a second. So I'm just going to go lightly over these leaves. And so the designer series paper Floral Charm is new, effective July 1st. And what I like about it is that obviously the back side is pretty neutral, and then the front side is all florally, and that is actually conducive to any stamps, right? Not just one stamp set. So I'm just going to come back and do a little extra coloring here. I'm not going to color in a lot, just going to add a little extra Berry Burst. And I'm using, now instead of using the brush tip, I am using kind of the Sharpie tip, which is much more durable. I don't know if you can hear, I think we're going to have a storm here shortly. Sounds like it's really going to start raining here in St. Louis. But look how just bringing in that little extra color. And then I'm going to come back and I'm just going to blend this a little bit with my light Bubble Bath. Just blend it a little bit. going very gently with the side of my blend so I don't destroy the tip. We've talked about that in the past. I'm going to come back with my dark Night of Navy and add a little bit of dimension to these leaves. Okay. Okay, looks good. Now I have the die that cuts this out. So this is from Gallery Blooms. So I have the bundle, so it actually will cut this out. I'll go ahead. I have my mini cut and emboss here. It works great with this image because it's not too wide. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Get it on here without moving it at the last second. There we go. Got it. Okay. There we go. Like it. Okay, so now I have that done. So I'm going to use my Floral Charm Designer Series paper. I'm going to use it with a new die. So these new dies are online, Just a Note dies. And you actually get 10, okay? And there's like paper clips, like a paper clip heart, stars, arrows. I mean, you can see all the cute, a little miniature index card. But this one is like my favorite. So what I did was I cut this out of this Designer Series paper. Okay, so I have that, like, looks like I pulled it out of a notebook pad, and then I have this one. So this one I just cut straight, and this one I did run through the die. Okay, so I have a piece of, this is actually 5 by 8, and this is bubble bath cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this. Okay, so this is going to be my cardstock base, and you're thinking, well, that's kind of small. Actually, I'm going to mount that on. I'm going to mount that on another piece of cardstock. So I am going to. I think I'm going to do a little stamping on here. I kind of was thinking I wasn't, but now I'm thinking, maybe I will do a little stamping. And I think I'll do this stamp right here. And I'm just going to do tone on tone. So if you don't, here's a little trick. If you don't have the bubble bath pad, which I do, okay, if you don't, and you have a Versamark pad, you can do tone on tone with a Versamark pad, okay? And it will just be a little bit lighter, but it will turn out really nice. So I'm just going to stamp this image all over this cardstock, so I have tone on tone. Okay, there we go. Kind of looks like DSP right there. All right, now I'm just going to add these to my base. Put this one up here and add this one down here. Okay, and then I'm going to pop this up with some dimensionals. Probably like 5. See how many I need. Yeah, I think 5 will be good. Maybe another half. A little piece of one for the leaf so it doesn't go flopping around. Okay, so and then I'm going to add that right here. Okay, now I am going to do a little something with some ribbon. And I don't know if you've seen this technique, but I'm going to be using this ribbon, and this ribbon is called Striped Trim. It has a little bit of a glimmer to it, okay? And I'm going to take about 12 inches off of here, and I'm just going to make a bow. So it's going to have long tails, which is what I want. Okay. I'm going to make the bow a little bit smaller, make the tails a little bit longer. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to take my heat gun. I'm going to lay this on the glass, and I'm going to take my heat tool, put it on 2, and I'm going to heat this ribbon just on the ends until it crimps. And you see how it's making it like kind of fried? It's making it look kind of vintage. I haven't done this technique in a while, and I'm like, ooh, I should do this. Now, this won't work with every ribbon. The ribbon has to be kind of thin like this. Look how cool that is. You can hold it still long enough to do it without burning your fingers. There you go. And the harder you hold it on there, the longer you hold it on there, the more it's going to crimp. I love it. Looks total vintage. Okay. So now when you look at it, look at the ends. Aren't they cool? Totally crimped. Okay, so I'm just going to add that to my card. I'm going to use one of these this is from an old paper pumpkin kit, and I actually love these little, they're like little mini glue dots, but they're long and skinny. And they actually hold really, really well. I think we need to come out with some of these. I'm just going to put one right here, so it'll kind of hold this ribbon. Put one over here. Okay, so I'm going to have this come around like this. Okay, and then I have a piece of Night of Navy, and so now I'm going to mount this on my piece of Night of Navy. Okay, so there's my card. Now I need a sentiment, and I think for my sentiment I'm going to go with, I love this sentiment, thinking of you, so very useful. And this is from The Right Words. So this is a 14 rubber stamp set. Thinking of you. Hang on, I need a block. Here's this block. And I'm going to stamp this in Night of Navy. Thinking of you. I love, love, love this stamp. It's just, the font, there's just something about it. Just, ooh. I love it. Okay. And I'm not going to pop that up because I already popped the flower up. So I think I'm just going to glue this straight down. I'm just going to put it right down here. Right there. Okay, I'm going to add a few iridescent foil gems. And the card will be finished. And then I want to show you the other card. Okay, so I'm just going to put 3 of these on here. 1, 2, and 3. I think I'll do a small one. Push down on those so they don't go anywhere. I've had them fall off before, and ugh, you look and you only got 2, and it's like, oh, where'd my cute little foil gem go? Okay, so there's my finished card today. Now, here's the other card that I made earlier. Okay, and I used, obviously, a lot of different colors and different DSP. But that DSP, this is from the Neutrals 6x6 assortment pack. Okay, so the stripe. But this flower is also from Floral Charm. So there is similar cards, but very different. So I hope you enjoyed that little ribbon technique. And my name's Trevis Bossler, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Louis, Missouri. I will see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Bye.